We are live. We're a little bit early, but we're here. We showed up to work, unlike those Baltimore Ravens. Uh, but hey, to each their own. And for that reason alone, I believe the chef ain't making it this week. It's crazy. Like, Ravens lost, and he decided to pick up some more shifts at work. Look, I'm just saying, one may not got nothing to do with the other, but it happened. But I'm not alone. You're not going to hear me talk for the whole hour. I got my brothers with me. Just Flick.
What up, bro? What's up, bro? How you doing, man? How's your week been?
I'm tired, man.
I know, man. I'm tired myself, man.
I don't know what's going on. You know what? It might be the weather. You know, it's gloomy, kind of rainy on and off.
Yeah, it's been a busy week for me work wise.
You might have something to do with that. You completely moved in, new house. It's a big step.
I'm starting to get a few things in here. It's starting to look like a house. You know, it ain't a bachelor pad anymore, a trap house. It's starting to look like an actual house now. So,
I mean, you're single. It needs to be,
yeah. I mean,
welcoming to other singles.
Right. Well, I want the women to feel comfortable if they come in here, though. You know what I mean? I want them to feel like they're coming in here to buy some dope or anything.
All right. If that's the case, everybody wins.
But then again, they might like that,
Yeah, we never know. And speaking of winning, JB's team keeps on winning. I don't think it was. Did you doubt the 49ers was would lose that game as the game was going along?
No, because football games are 4 quarters. So now had it come down to the 4th quarter and they was down 17, then yeah, it was what it was. But in the first quarter, we've seen too many games like that to where the people have been down like that and come back. You saw it when 28-3. You saw it the last time the 49ers was in the Super Bowl against Kansas City, or Kansas City came back.
You saw it the week before last.
The week before last, yeah. Well, they was only down by 7. They wasn't down by 17 in that game. And I mean the last time the Lions won a playoff game, it was the exact same score, just in reverse. The 49ers was up 24-7, and the Lions came back. So yeah. And route to their
on the subject,
championship.
Dan Campbell, obviously he's been the source of the noise everywhere. All the media saying, he has that go for it attitude regardless of what's going on. Did he lose the game for the Lions?
He absolutely lost that game for the Lions. Of course, 48-yard field goals aren't given, but neither is going for it on 4th down when you're in field goal range. Yeah, and then you lose by what, 4?
Well, yeah, they lost by 4. I'm gonna say this. I don't think he did lose that game because the 2 passes that were there, they were actually in his hands, and he dropped them. One of them it wasn't there because they ran the zone scheme on him, but the two of them was right there, and he just dropped them. And if you look at, because I saw some stats after the game, they were more successful going for it on 4th and under 4 yards or under 5 yards than they were kicking field goals from 48 yards out. So if I'm Dan Campbell, I'm gonna go for it on 4th and 3 too, because I'm more successful than my kicker.
So you want to go straight analytics and not let's be honest. Dan Campbell ain't looking at analytics. Ain't nobody here talking about what you just What you just said was legit stats. But I'm telling you right now, nobody was in his ear saying, "Hey, we got a better chance."
No, right, and nobody was in his ear. And I said that before the game. I said that I love his intensity because I knew he plays. He plays. I said it during the game, but I said it on our
after they crapped the bed on the second.
You're right, but I said it on last week's show. I said I love his intensity because he plays. He coaches like he's playing Madden.
I also want to let the viewers know that it was a 3-point game, not a 4-point game. It was a 3-point game.
Yeah, it was three. 34-31.
There was 2 field goals that, or hell, one of them. If he kicks one field goal, it's a tie game.
Right.
You know, my
Yeah,
issue was the one play. I get it. Go for 4th down. Go 4th down. Go 4th down. But if you kick a field goal, it makes it another 17-point game, 3-possession game again. After the 49ers were coming back. And then you finally put yourselves in a position to at least put some points on the board in the second half, because it was hard to do for a little bit for the Lions.
The first 4th down play, if they'd have kicked that field goal, they would have went up 20.
I'm not talking about that one. I get it. He went with his gut on that one. I'm talking about the one that would have made it a 3-possession game. That would have put y'all almost out of the game. Second half, 3-possession game, going into the 4th quarter, mind you. And what did you say? What did you say as soon as you got on the screen? I'd have been more worried if we were down 17 going to the 4th quarter. Yep. And guess what? If you would have kicked that field goal, then we would have been down 17 going into the 4th quarter.
But going into the 4th quarter, they was tied because the 49ers came back in the 3rd quarter and tied it 24-24.
I understand that, but it would have been a 3-possession game. Not, you know what I'm saying? It would have changed.
Right. They'd have still probably been down like 3 points.
Instead of giving them the ball almost at midfield.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? The momentum changed at that point. It was over. So we knew bad Lions showed up at the second half. Now, on the flip side, we all seen the reports, Cam Newton on his podcast saying that Brock Purdy is the 10th best player on the 49ers team. 10th best. Are we agreeing with Cam, not agreeing with Cam? What do y'all think?
You know, I posted something on Facebook yesterday talking about it. And, you know, if going back and listening to what he said, he's saying the entire team when you considering the whole offense, the whole defense. So he got, you know, he got Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Trent Williams, Debo, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, CMC. He got all those guys in front of Brock Purdy. Do I
throwing the ball to anybody?
Right, and that's the one thing with Cam Newton. Let me just get this out the way. Cam Newton is not on a team by his choice. He did not retire from the NFL. The NFL retired Cam Newton because nobody wanted Cam Newton. So let's put that out there right there. Now, with that being said, Cam Newton did play in the NFL. He did lead the Carolina Panthers to a Super Bowl. He did win the MVP. But at this point, I can't take Cam Newton seriously because all it seems like Cam Newton is doing is trying to keep his name out there and trying to get clicks. It seems like he's going for clickbait instead of actually going out with facts. So, you know, for him to continuously attack Brock Purdy for doing his job is you know, it makes zero sense to me. And you say, oh, he got all these weapons. Every football team out there, if you don't have weapons, you're not going to do nothing. So it is what it is. So I can't really agree with him. He may be the 10th best person on the team, but it doesn't matter. He is the quarterback, so he is going to be the person. If the 49ers lose, it's going to be on Brock Purdy, but if they win, it's on everybody else.
That's an interesting take, Fleck.
I mean, I don't know what part he lied about though, because you just named 9 people better than Brock Purdy.
But how they better? So I'll ask the question: how they better?
Okay, I'll say this: if you were starting a team and you were drafting from the 49ers, would you take Brock Purdy above any of those other 9 guys that you just named?
After seeing Brock Purdy right now, or we're assuming Brock Purdy is still Mr. Relevant.
Who would you take over him? I mean, who would you take him over out of the 9 that you named?
I would take him over Ayuk.
I wouldn't, but that's me.
Ayuk is
that the only one though?
No,
Ayuk is truly their number one receiver
I take
right
him
now.
over what's the Armstead? I'll take him over
But Armstead wasn't even named.
Greenlaw. I'll take him over. I would.
I'm trying to.
I like Brock Purdy. Hold up.
Game.
I'm saying all this. I'm not knocking Brock Purdy.
Right.
I think he gets crapped on a lot more than he should. You know what I'm saying? Because like Jim said, it's not his fault that that team is stacked. Every team has weapons. It's all about using them. I'm not saying that I don't like Brock Purdy. I like Brock Purdy as a quarterback in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? I like him the way he leads this Niners team. But just going off of that one comment where Cam said he's his best player, you named 9 guys that I wouldn't take Brock Purdy before.
And I'm looking at it as to you are it's almost like comparing apples to oranges because all positions on the football field are not equal positions.
Right.
So
and that's why I worded it as a draft. Who would you take Brock Purdy over any of those guys if you were starting a team?
And what do you want to start a team with though? Don't you want to start a team with the quarterback? It's not the fantasy draft. This is you talking about a draft. So you will want to start a team with a quarterback and build around a quarterback.
Okay.
But I get what you're saying. That's the way I'm looking at it. You want to start the team with the quarterback because, like you said, the NFL or maybe Amir, you just said it, one of y'all or both, because we've been saying it for weeks now. The NFL is a quarterback-driven league. That's why the MVP is basically a quarterback's award. So,
like for me, I look at
would Brock Purdy and again, I am not knocking Brock Purdy. And you know, this is hypothetical. Would he shine like that on the Panthers?
We don't know.
But we seen CMC shine on the Panthers. We seen Trent Williams do his thing on other teams.
Right.
We seen Debo do it without Brock Purdy. We seen Kittle do it without Brock Purdy.
Hold on. We have, yes, but there's more to it than just seeing it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, 2 that you named off the bat, Debo Samuel, Kittle, I'll still take the quarterback over those 2. Reason being, they're injury prone. Okay? Kittle has right now anyway, is losing value. Still a great tight end. He's not one of the best. He's not, he's falling he's falling down. Laporta has passed him up top 5.
Kittle's actually been healthy this year though.
Laporta has passed a lot of tight ends.
I'm just saying because I'm just saying that to answer your question, when you're looking at drafting, right? You're looking at, is this player going to be a top 5 player in his position? That's where I'm getting at. So, yes, Trent Williams, probably number 1 if you're drafting a 49ers team. McCaffrey, number 2. And then you start looking at, okay, what do I need? Okay, Bosa, possibly number 3. He might go 3, 4, or 5. But then you start like, hey, I need a quarterback. I need a quarterback. These guys are all pro 99s on Madden, but I still need a quarterback. And Brock Purdy, now we're talking about Garoppolo or Trey Lance? Of course not. Just a few years ago, Garoppolo took the same team. Almost the same team, almost, to the Super Bowl. Did he not?
With Raheem Mostert.
That's the point that I was making when I said put
right.
Brock Purdy on the bench.
Like I said, I'm not. But he's not making the plays like Garoppolo didn't make the plays like Brock Purdy has. Now, what hurts Brock Purdy is when all those guys were hurt for those 5 games, Brock Purdy was Aiden O'Connell in disguise.
Which is why I asked.
Right. I'm meeting you halfway. I'm not knocking what you're saying. I'm not. But what I'm saying is, obviously, you look at your talent. You're not, now you're like, where do I need this quarterback outside of offensive lineman? Trent Williams, probably the best that they got in the league. McCaffrey, probably the best running back they got in the league. I really believe in that system, you can plug and play wide receivers. Ayuk has come a long way and made himself an elite wide receiver. He has. And I don't think that has much to do with Purdy or vice versa, but I do believe you can put anybody in that position and they're going to be just as good. That's just
I don't know because you saw when they tried to plug somebody in when Debo got hurt a couple of weeks ago, you couldn't plug anybody in for that. But when back in when they had the 3-game losing streak, I don't think it was so much because Debo wasn't there. Yeah, Debo is one of the ones that get them started, but I think it was more so because Trent Williams wasn't there. Because the right side of the line is already suspect. So without having Big Trent over there, now he Brock knew I can go to the left side and I don't have to, or I can look to the right side and I know my left side gonna be covered, so I can kind of focus on this side and make sure I'm getting out. Now Big Trent ain't here, so now my head got to be on the swivel. So I got to, I'm in and out of all over the place.
It definitely made a huge change. Like we saw during those games, defensive line was hurt. Trent Williams was hurt. Debo was hurt. And then it just look normal. So I'm just saying, if you're going to draft a quarterback and Brock Purdy's there, and you're trying to draft a quarterback and you try to construct this team, there's maybe 4 or 5 guys tops that you pick up before Purdy. Then you have to get that quarterback in there, and that's Purdy. It is Purdy, So we get it. We don't get the talk of he's a game manager, because what he did last week was far from being a game manager. Brock Purdy was the reason.
He managed to win the game.
So, and a lot of quarterbacks, obviously, you're hoping that they don't lose you the game.
Right. And you want quarterbacks to be able to do that. You don't want them to. Yeah, game manager is one of the things that's under a quarterback's job title. You should be able to do that. You should be able to not give away the game, which is something that a lot of these quarterbacks that are talking about Brock Purdy were not able to do. They gave up the games. They didn't show up in the big game. So
I don't want to make a comparison, but wasn't Brady labeled a game manager?
Yes, he was. Out the 5th round.
Sixth
round. Yep, 6th round.
But the way he was winning the games, dinking and dunking, he wasn't throwing the ball downfield. Right. Unless it was the 4th quarter, he had to make a comeback. He was managing those games to not lose or win, correct?
Correct. And that was another thing that people, Purdy's the check down king. He led the league in attempts in yards per attempt, though. With over 9.5 yards per attempt.
I think he was 4th in the season, 4th quarterback. I think I read this. My statistician probably look it up. 4th in throwing and connecting 15 plus yards.
Purdy.
Yeah. So that's not game manager talk right there. Yeah. Well, we talked about the GOAT. At what point did y'all realize that Tom Brady was that dude? Was it more Patriots, or was it you're looking at Tom Brady?
Tampa Bay.
That was 20 years after the fact.
Nah, yeah. I mean, Tampa Bay proved that he didn't need Belichick to win a championship.
Right. That and that's what, because he said when you start looking at him as a GOAT.
After you had to give him the guy title after the 3rd or 4th Super Bowl.
I don't know, man. I'm a Joe Montana fan. I wanted to hold out as long as I could. I wanted to hold out as long as I could, but then he went to Tampa and took those guys. I was like, okay.
So Tampa, he did what he set out to prove. Everybody was labeling him a system guy. Oh, he only won those championships because of Belichick. That's why he went to Tampa and won one.
Right. Now, if he'd have went to Dallas and won one over there, everybody in the world would have been calling him the unmitigated second coming of Christ, because I don't think nobody can help them out. And how you said, Amir? I'm gonna say it for you. How about them Cowboys?
Why? Why? I ain't even gonna ask how. I'm gonna ask why.
Well, from one dynasty to a possible another, the Kansas City Chiefs are well on their way to, 5 years and 5 straight AFC Championship games, right? 3 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. This is number 4.
The 4th Super Bowl, 4th in 5 years. 4. Yep.
This is number 4 for old Patrick Mahomes. old Patty. Now, he's quite the opposite, where he's doing it all alone.
I'll give you that. I mean, not all alone, but I'll give you
This
that.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean his weapons on offense started coming to life at the right time at the end of the year. You know, Rashee Rice.
I was gonna say Rice has proven that he can be that number one guy
Right.
for the Chiefs.
And Kelsey
And then
probably decided
yeah,
to get some.
Well, I mean,
learn how to catch again.
I mean, yeah, Kelsey. I guess you know, Taylor did her voodoo on him, and you know, he broke that spell last week.
We was going to mention her name.
We wasn't going to mention little ironing board back.
I didn't mention her whole name.
You said the first name,
and that's it. It's only a jinx when you say her whole name.
It's like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I didn't say juice. I just said beetle.
Oh my god.
So let's discuss that. We discussed the Chiefs. Now this game's kind of weird. They came off the rip, first half dominated. They didn't score in the second half.
Nope.
They didn't score in the second half. So talk to me about the Chiefs' chances against the 49ers. We're not making predictions right now. We'll say that for next week. But Fleck, does the Chiefs have obviously they got a chance. They're there. But what do they have to do to beat that 49ers defense?
Keep their foot on the gas. The Packers had the Niners number. They ran out of gas. The Lions had the Niners number. They ran out of gas. If the Chiefs jump up early, I think, and this is this would be the third straight, time I've picked against those Niners, and every time they've come back and won. But I think if the Chiefs jump out early this game, I think the Niners are done. The Niners are going to have to limit that early scoring that they've been giving up here, against the Packers and then against the Lions.
That suspect secondary.
Because of that suspect secondary.
Actually, it wasn't the suspect secondary. It was the defensive line.
Now, well, we called it that two-headed dragon that the Detroit Lions got, Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh my God, It could not be stopped. And I'm not understanding why the Lions stopped running in the second half.
Why they went away from that? I have no freaking clue.
Run the damn ball. That's what everybody was saying. Don't get me wrong. I was very happy that they decided to stop running the ball because that defensive line, I don't know what happened to him in the last few weeks since Eric Armstead went out. The defensive line ain't been the same, even when him coming back. So,
but what I'm not understanding on the flip side of that, the Ravens Chiefs game, 4 rushing attempts by the Ravens against.
I didn't get that one either. I didn't understand.
What am I missing here?
It's almost like Lamar had money on the Chiefs.
They turned him into a pocket quarterback.
It looked like
they had a sound bite where Odell was basically telling Lamar, "Why aren't you fucking running?" Or excuse my language. Why aren't you running? Like when you run, why aren't you running? Take off. He told him to take off.
It felt like though he chose that game to try to silence the critics. The critics and critics.
Try to silence the critters.
Okay, and the critics. To say, hey, I am not just a running quarterback. And for some reason, he failed miserably.
You wait until week 1 of next year to do that.
Yeah.
You don't do that in the AFC Championship game.
Right.
You don't do that in the AFC Championship. You wait until week 1 of next year.
You can't stop doing what brought you to the dance.
Exactly.
You got a running back that was top 5 in touchdown scored in Gus Edwards. And Justice Hill was definitely a very competent runner.
Yep.
And why activate Dalvin Cook? Why activate Dalvin Cook if you're not going to use him to run?
Lamar himself. He didn't run.
Right.
So it's like,
I guess the question is, do you think it was Lamar making that decision, or you think the new offensive quarter?
There is no way Lamar would have been able to put that as his game plan with John Harbaugh on that sideline. There's
Right.
no way that would have been solely on Lamar. Hey, if you don't want to run, don't run. There is no way that was discussed.
'Cause
I have
especially
no clue what happened, but it wasn't Lamar saying, "Hey, I'm not going to run."
right. That was I just don't know what happened, but yeah, even if the offensive coordinator is calling passes, at some point you drop back and you see you don't have nothing. Lamar,
Take off.
he's known to take off, but he wasn't doing that. He's waiting for people to get open. So I don't know what was going on.
He got Mark Andrews back, and it looked like he was trying to force it to him early. Getting Mark Andrews going. Quick side note: props to Mark Andrews for saving a person's life on a plane this week. I don't know if you guys saw that story.
Yeah,
Right,
I saw
he did
that. He broke out his
His
diabetic.
blood sugar, yeah, and save that person's life. Hey, sometimes you have to go home at the right time. I don't
But
know how to perform that.
the Ravens, even with them running as little as they did, they still should have won that game. Zay Flowers proved that he was a rookie. He had a couple of mistakes that were avoidable. The 15-yard run, the taunting penalty.
It's the same drive. Yeah.
One, yeah, and then he fumbled at the goal line.
I think
I can't really knock him for the fumble because
that was good. That was great.
He was all effort on that one.
Right.
I'm not knocking him for it, but it was still a miscue on his part.
No,
And then right after that, he went and cut his hand on the bench.
For him.
Yeah, that was great defense by Kansas City. And Kansas City, obviously, great defense so far this postseason. They've been locking down teams that we thought was, hey, this is going to be a shootout. But the Chiefs making it seem like, hey, as long as we get to 21 first, we can win. So,
yeah, and then that's why I said I don't know if the Niners want to get into a shootout with the Chiefs. I'm not saying that they can't hang with them, but if they're not going to be able to come from behind like they did against the Packers and against the Lions, if they get down like that against the Chiefs, Mahomes ain't going to allow it.
I think as long as they don't get behind the shootout, because we've all seen it. As long as they score over 17 points, then they're still in the game. So I think they will want to get to scoring points. They just want to try to hold Mahomes from scoring points. And
I was about to say, if it's a 1-for-1, you know what I'm saying? Yes, the Niners can keep up. But if the Chiefs go up 14-0, 21-0, it's going to be kind of tough for the Niners to come back in that one.
Right. But as long as, Patrick Mahomes is doing Patrick Mahomes things and they continue to lean on the defense, what brought them to the dance. Not the run defense, though, because the run defense has been suspect this year, but they pass defenses have been all right, and they pass rushers have been getting home where they needed to. Then they have that opportunity to continue to solidify their place in dynasty history. So, but we getting in. You say we doing all our next week, right? The previews, not previews.
Pro Bowl week,
right? The projections.
This is Pro Bowl week on Sunday. On Sunday, we still have a radio show Sunday mornings on Vibe 95, www.vibe95station.com, or the Parlay Period app. You can see it down scrolling on the ticker underneath us. Is it coincidence that they've gotten successful once Kadarius Toney was literally sent home?
No, because they had Toney in there as their wide receiver one when he is nobody's wide receiver one. He shouldn't have been a wide receiver one coming out of college.
No, coming out of college, he had Tyreek Hill potential coming out of college. His issue has always been he's a damn head case.
Yeah, he ain't have Tyreek Hill mentality.
The talent has always been there. Like I will give him the talent has always been there, but dude he's even when he was at Florida, he was so frustrating because he'll give you one of those Percy Harvin type games, and then he'll disappear. And then he'll get mad at the quarterback for not throwing the ball. Well, dude, you got to get open. We're not going to throw it to you and there's 4 people around you.
Right, and that's why I say he shouldn't have been a wide receiver one coming out of college because he doesn't have both of the intangibles that you need. Yeah, he got the talent, but he don't have the mental capacity or the mental dexterity to put it together. He's still being immature for the level that he's at. He needs to be at the level that he's at, or he's gonna find himself without a job.
I mean, he's already about to find himself.
I think he's out. I think
we're there now. Yeah.
I don't think.
I think he's done in the NFL.
Y'all don't think nobody gonna take a chance on him?
No.
What
do you mean?
I think so. This is me. I think
no.
You don't think he's done?
No. Why wouldn't any team take a chance on him? Like again, he's not number one. You can sign him for a $2.5 million a year contract for a year.
Did you hear him rant on IG about not being hurt and how Kansas City was effing him?
Right.
Yep.
What team is going to? That's AB. That's AB. That's some AB crap, right?
The Carolina Panthers.
And without the AB talent.
But that's
Carolina Panthers.
No, but that's him wanting to play. It's not him saying, "Hey."
But you don't come out. But you don't come out, especially if you know that this team is probably going to cut you after this. You don't come out and start talking because what's the next team going to think? Oh, if things ain't going his way, he's going to be on IG talking crap about it.
Let's look at it like this. We can also talk about George Pickens and Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're still doing that. But what I want to say is, just last year, exactly a year ago, the Chiefs don't win a Super Bowl without Kadarius Toney. Just
what have you done for me lately?
Removed 1 year ago.
What have you done for me lately?
I understand
that's the NFL.
What I'm saying is, another team could see what he's done, and that aspect will be 2 years ago, and say, you know what, he might still have some juice.
But you know what the
bring him in for the 2.5 veteran minimum, whatever it is. And you know what? If he doesn't do it, guess what? We just wasted 2.5.
You know what the difference was?
Paid right now, not coaching anywhere.
You know what the difference was? He wasn't on IG talking crap about the team that currently employs him.
He'll go back to the Giants.
I'm not saying we're not going to welcome him.
He's going to go back to the USFL. That's where he's going to end up having to play. Because
I think the Panthers will take a flyer on him.
I don't. Well, I don't know. That owner's kind of messed up in the head.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think the Panthers will take a flyer on him.
Where he can fit in and actually do some work. And that team may not be good.
The only team I can see him doing it in is Miami.
Nope.
That's it.
Nope.
It ain't Miami.
Fuck no.
The Chicago Bears.
Nope. They about to bring in a rookie quarterback.
Nope. You bring to Pittsburgh.
Nope. He ain't going to Pittsburgh because Tomlin ain't going to have
their lesson with Le'Veon and AB.
They can't do it with him and Pickens.
I can see him doing some damage on is Miami because they already got a 1 and a 2. He would come in and be the 3.
They're still trying to figure out what to do with George Pickens over there in Pittsburgh.
I'm telling you. I can see him.
But you see how Tomlin checked his ass in the media. Tomlin checked him.
He checked him multiple times.
Okay, if you're finna go in the media talking, I'm finna go in the media talking. He needs to mature. Tomlin checked him in the media.
Right. That's why Tomlin is one of the best coaches ever.
And you saw Pickens got quiet after that.
But I'm telling you,
he didn't say anything else after that.
Or how about Philadelphia? How about the Eagles?
They got their own issues. Nope. There's rumors coming out that AJ Brown might be traded out of Philly now.
It's possible.
Right.
There are rumors
there's a lot of teams that can use a wide receiver 3 / kick punt returner.
But those teams have to have a strong presence already in place, though. And I say that because
we got teams like send them to LA with the Rams. Aaron Donald will check them in a heartbeat.
But do the Rams need him? They got Tutu, they got Cup, they got Pookie.
I'm gonna say
they got DeMarcus Robinson. I'm saying
all that to say that I don't think Cooper Kupp returns next season.
And I can see that, but I still wouldn't sign Tony.
I'm just saying. I don't
He'll
think
sign it with you.
for that money. I think he's going to be a salary cap casualty next year.
I can
You
see
can put
that,
Tony
but
in.
I don't think it happens. I think they bring him. I think Cup comes back. I wouldn't be surprised if they cut him, but I don't think they will. But I wouldn't be surprised.
I can see Tony in Carolina, Arizona, or Minnesota.
Arizona, nope.
Who Arizona got?
They got their issues. That's what they have issues.
Issue too.
Who cannot go anywhere where the structure is already on the fritz.
Look, at the end of the day, he's going to be a free agent. He's still very young.
Somebody go sign him.
Very young.
And the Rock will sign him to the USFL.
And he's going to play some football. He will be playing football. Listen, he will be playing football somewhere.
Where?
Vegas.
That's not to the side.
Give me a team. Realistically, give me a team that makes sense to you.
Las Vegas Raiders.
I just said that. But also Carolina.
Stop saying Carolina.
I'm telling you, I can see him playing in Carolina. But I also said Las Vegas too.
Why Carolina? I'll listen. Why Carolina?
Because Carolina's in a full-on rebuild. And they, like Flex said, their owner is halfway ridiculous. So, and I say ridiculous because you can't say the other words on in the world of everything in the open world. So you can't say, special and stuff like that. So I say ridiculous because it just feels better and makes more sense.
So I'm going to name one free agent who's almost in the same situation as Kadarius Toney, which he was early in his career. He's been signing a bunch of one-year contracts. There's been a bunch of prove-its. And you mentioned his name earlier, Fleck, and that's Odell. Yes. Odell
was never as bad as Kadarius Toney, bro.
But this is a one-time thing, though. This hasn't been like he was fine last season. Kadarius Toney was fine last season.
Bro, he just why did the Giants trade him? Why did the Giants trade him?
Because he was injury prone.
So he wasn't a head case there.
No, well,
yes.
My thing is, hold on. He is what I believe. Let me finish.
Burn bridges at every stop that he's been so far.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, I believe if he tweaks his ankle, tying his shoe, he's out for 3 weeks. Type of mentality, type of guy. That's why the Giants got rid of him.
Dude he's burned bridges every stop of the way.
So has Odell. And Odell's talking shit in Baltimore. I don't think Baltimore brings him back.
Odell's on the sideline trying to talk Lamar up.
Odell's only in Baltimore because Lamar won him in Baltimore. So if Lamar continues to want him in Baltimore, Odell ain't going nowhere.
But Odell's a free agent as well.
That's what I'm saying. You don't see, but like Jim just said, Lamar wanted Odell there. For better or for worse, he wanted him there. You don't hear nobody lining up saying, hey, if Kadarius is out of KC, we want him here. No, because he's
I'm sure he's on somebody's desk, GM, but like, you know what? Granted, he might be way down here. Granted, you got 18 names up here, and he might be the one name down here. But
he'll end up in Tennessee.
I would get somebody for it.
He's definitely not coming to Tennessee. I will
he'll end up in Tennessee.
Hey, look, and this is me as a Gators fan. If he comes to Tennessee, I renounce my fanhood.
What? You would never.
Tennessee, I will renounce my fanhood.
You would never renounce it.
I think he's trying to.
I will renounce my fanhood.
Take a root for the Houston Oilers / Texans. I know what you're trying to get at. I know what you're trying to get at. I know what you're doing.
What am I doing?
What you're doing.
What am I
doing? You're renouncing the Titans so you can be a Texans fan. Going back to the roots.
I'm gonna be a Titans fan.
I know what you're doing.
I'm gonna be a Titans fan because they're not signing Tony.
So if they sign Tony and you renounce it, where are you going? Where are you bringing your fandom to?
I'm just gonna watch football as a free agent.
Nope.
I don't even.
Houston Oilers Warren Moon jersey.
Well, my Warren Moon.
No, I'm not, because that's not the Texas history. That's still the Titans history.
I'm just saying. I'm calling it out now.
Look, so I will meet you halfway. The Raiders. Okay, I can kind of see that one, only because I think Antonio Pierce would jack his ass up if he got out of line. Like literally, I could see Antonio Pierce like, dude, calm your butt down.
Now, we got to look at it. All jokes aside, we got to look at teams that players have controlled the narrative. Veterans have said, hey, we don't do that here. Some organizations like the old Patriots anyway, you showed up with the Patriots and use the head case. He wasn't a head case anymore. So it takes strong leadership. It does.
And I said that.
And Kansas City, I don't believe has strong leadership per se, because they rather just say, you know what, we're a winning organization.
We can do it without you, right?
Right, exactly. So I don't think he's getting that type of love or attention that
he doesn't
needs.
warrant that type of love, though.
I'm just saying, so he might go somewhere. I still believe he's going to be an NFL player next year. It doesn't matter of where, and it has to be somewhere. And he's like, hey, we don't do that,
Right, and that's why I said I'll meet you halfway with that. You know what I mean? Like I can see Antonio Pierce jacking him up, like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. I can see Max Crosby getting in his face, like, nah, dude, not here. I can see that.
The Raiders, again, more Raiders news. They just got an offensive coordinator, old Cardinals head coach Cliff Kingsbury as their offensive, and we also got to be mindful. Marvin Lewis is in an organization as an advisor.
He's an assistant head coach.
Right. So there's a lot of leadership. There's a lot of leadership on the Raiders now.
Antonio Pierce in a position to succeed. I like it.
Now, with all that being said, and I guess we'll spend. I wish Didi was on the show right now, but we'll spend a couple moments, whatever. Do the Raiders trade up and get a quarterback, or do they trade for a quarterback?
They definitely need to get a.
I'm gonna go one further. I think it's gonna depend on what happens with Russell Wilson.
You really believe Russell Wilson can still be a viable?
He proved it in Denver. Denver gave him the shaft at the end of the season. That first season, that was a throwaway. I'll give you that. That first season was a throwaway.
I don't trust Sean Payton.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Russell Wilson, before he was benched, was not playing bad football. He was playing some good football. He was I think 26 touchdowns versus 7 or 8 interceptions. Yeah. So he was playing, and I think he had close to 4,000. And I'll check that in a minute, but he wasn't playing bad football.
I agree.
That was Sean Payton having his vendetta for whatever reason.
But the issue is that cap hit, that number in his contract.
Yeah, but if he's released, he can sign with whoever he wants, and it won't be that huge number.
Mm-hmm.
If he's released. I don't think anybody's going to trade for him. But if he's released, then that's something to look at.
So before
Atlanta might.
I'll get to you, Jim.
I don't see him going to Atlanta.
Jim, I'll get to you here. We don't see Russell Wilson getting cut this early, before the draft. Let's say before the draft.
No,
if he doesn't get cut before the draft, which we don't see it happening. What are the Raiders' moves on draft day?
I think that the Raiders have some other stuff that they need to look at. They definitely need to look at offensive line while they're out there, because whoever's that quarterback is going to need to be protected. So they're going to need to look at offensive line, and I think they can take a quarterback later in the draft, not too late in the draft, but 3rd or 4th round. They can take a quarterback there, and if they can't get anybody in free agency or figure out some type of trade with getting rid of Garoppolo and bringing in Wilson or something like that, then they have somebody that's right there waiting in the wings. They can have somebody that they're going to bring up, but I don't think that they make a knee-jerk trade on draft day just because they can't get somebody right now. They can play the waiting game until you get closer to training camp and play it that way. Antonio Pierce is smart, so he's not gonna just have a knee-jerk reaction. And you got Marvin Lewis there too, so he's not gonna allow him to have knee-jerk reactions to try to do something on draft day that's gonna cost them in the long run. They're gonna play the long game and play the waiting game.
Well, we know another quarterback that's probably going to be traded, Justin Fields.
And that's where I was trying to
Justin
charge
Fields.
on
You see
draft
Justin
day.
Fields going to the Raiders.
I
Pick 13. That's Bo Nix, Michael Penix territory. If they
Right.
want to go the draft route.
I don't see Justin Fields going to the Raiders. I see Justin Fields going
Not
to
for first round pick he won't. But if the Raiders call the Bears and say, "Hey, we'll give you our second round pick for Justin Fields," I think the Bears do that.
They'll take a listen to it, but I can see Justin Fields going to the Steelers.
You gotta be mindful. Whatever team trades from, gotta pay him. So we also have to keep that in mind.
I can see him going to the most Steelers.
We're going to move
everybody
on.
going to the Steelers.
We are going to move on from football. Pro Bowl weekend.
Flag football.
Was that moving on from football?
I am because I'm
It is.
Segue. This is also the NHL All-Star Weekend.
NHL, yep.
Okay, I'm segueing one All-Star game. I've got quotation marks up to another All-Star game this weekend. And that's all the time we got for the NHL. The NBA has announced
All-Star game next week.
Their All-Star game is next week. They announced their reserves yesterday.
Oh no, 2 weeks. I'm sorry, 2 weeks.
No, I think it's next week.
As the 18th. It's the week after the Super Bowl.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They wouldn't dare put it on Super Bowl weekend. In Indianapolis, by the way, a lot of the talks have been about Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. When he was deserving to be an All-Star. Now, a lot of analysts, ESPN analysts mainly, are saying Jalen Brunson is a favorite to be the MVP if he continues to play the way he's playing. Now, with that being said, obviously, a lot of people that we share friends with on Facebook are angry that Trae Young was left out this year. Trae Young was left out last year. He's averaging 27 points a game this year. The issue is there's only 15 slots?
Yeah.
An All-Star game per conference. So a lot of people
who you gonna take out for him? Now you do have two spots that's open because you have Embiid that's not playing and Julius Randle that's not playing.
But you would imagine replacing with big guys, right?
With a big man, right? So you only have so many spots for so many people. So I understand why you're mad that Trae didn't get there, but Jalen Brunson earns it, and he earns it every night. They don't know what.
He should have been a starter.
He should have been a starter.
I thought he should have been a starter.
They're on a 9-game winning streak right now. The Knicks,
the third best in the conference and the best record in January. Has never happened for the Knicks, like ever.
Right, and in doing so, while they're on this 9-game winning streak, Jalen Brunson has averaged 36.7 points a game during this 9-game winning streak. So to say that he's leading this team would be an understatement. And I know, Amir, you for one, you love the fact that he's leading the team because it takes the ball out of Julius Randle's hands. But I mean that's what they've needed for quite a while. As a matter of fact, Brunson is the first point guard from the Knicks to be an All-Star since Mark Jackson, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So and that was in the early 90s.
So my wish coming to the season was Brunson has been the primary ball handler. Yes, Julius Randle got hurt this past week, dislocated right shoulder. He's going to be out 2 to 4 weeks. So, yes, he will be missing the All-Star game. And I think Brunson will only get better without a Julius Randle in his face asking for the ball every chance he gets. So,
yep.
But that's not the biggest injury that happened this week. The biggest injury that happened this week is the current MVP, Joel Embiid, torn meniscus in his knee. And supposedly he's been playing with it for a while. It didn't just happen. I guess it got worse. It got exacerbated this previous week. Hey, we're educated this week.
Why you stepping
Exacerbated.
like that? Exacerbated.
Also, I don't know if y'all saw the report, but Philly came out and said that those reports are unconfirmed. That he has a torn meniscus.
And Beach said it was unconfirmed. Philly was the one that says yes. I think Embiid
Like,
is
yes.
just like, no, I'm not that hurt. But either way, it didn't happen when we saw him get tangled up in this previous game he played. He's been playing with it for a while. So
Ooh, that's
we
not
don't
good.
know. Either way, it's safe to say he's not going to be the MVP this year.
Mhm.
And,
Right. He's not going to hit that 65 game.
But you got to play so many games. That's weird. That's stupid.
and Tyrese Halliburton had a problem with that because he's quite possible can lose out on like a $40 million max extension if he misses games. You know, he was hurt for like 2 weeks.
He
So
he has
he was mad about that.
he only has 3 more games that he can miss, but
Yeah.
and he can't be on any of the all NBA teams.
Yeah, but if you're not on the all NBA teams, then you can't get that super max
Right.
or whatever. Yeah. So
Right.
he's upset about that. That's taking money off. The
Right.
snubs. I looked at the list of the snubs for the Western Conference, and I don't know if I can pull it up, but one was De'Aaron Fox getting snubbed for Stephen Curry.
Yep, De'Aaron Fox and what's the teammate name? Sabonis. Both of those guys are playing out of their minds, man. But we know that the All-Star game is a popularity contest, and you're not gonna not have Steph Curry in the All-Star game.
Well,
I mean,
doesn't have to
he's
be in
not
the
a
All-Star
starter.
game. He's doing a celebrity shootout with UNESCO. So
Right.
he's doing that anyway. So why have him in the game? I don't think he's an all-star this year, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, but it's a popularity thing. So you're still not going to have him there. That's the reason why LeBron James is still a starter. Because the fans voted for LeBron James to be a starter. It's not to say that other people shouldn't have been there over him. But
you open that door. I just want to say that we finally found out why the Lakers are not winning. Because LeBron and AD on the court, they're doing just fine without them two. As they took care of the Boston Celtics last night.
Austin Reeves about to be an entire issue.
Just throwing it out there. No, so when I woke up this morning, I thought the Kings coach got fired.
Put that out there.
I thought the Kings coach got fired, but that was the LA Kings, the hockey team.
Yeah, hey, I saw that too. And I was
like, whoa.
I was like,
I was like, wait, what?
So I had one eye open. I was like, what am I looking at right now? Hold on. No way.
I saw the question marks start floating in midair. I was like,
yeah.
Jim, do you think your boy got snubbed? Brandon Ingram?
Or Snacks? Snacks got snubbed.
I don't think Snacks got snubbed. He ain't been playing.
So. Yeah, no, you said it right. He got Subway.
See, eat fresh.
See
Jersey Mike.
he ain't been playing. Brandon Ingram, he's been playing, but I don't think he's played at an all-star level this year. So, you know, it's one of those things. I knew neither one of them was gonna make it, and I knew CJ McCollum wasn't go be about nothing either. So I was surprised when they announced Jordan Hawkins and was playing in the what they call it, the Rising Stars game now.
Yep.
I was surprised to see those two, Dyson Daniels and Jordan Hawkins. But other than that,
yeah, it's every season the freshmen battle the sophomores.
All right.
So was there? I mean, I guess the mirror name here. Was there anybody that surprised you that did make it?
That did make it.
That did make it. Were there any surprises?
Stephen Curry to me, I was actually surprised. I thought when he didn't get voted in, I was like, "This is gonna be the 1 year Curry doesn't make it."
You know, I knew Curry was gonna make it. It wasn't anybody who really surprised me. I guess. I just know that we are literally right now witnessing the changing of the guard, and in the next couple of years, you're not gonna see Steph, you're not gonna see KD, you're not gonna see LeBron in the All-Star game. You about to see a whole new crop of people and some fresh faces, which is good for the league. So.
Well, we were shocked to see that Shea Gilchrist was voted
Gilgeous.
in. Halliburton was voted in. Like, we were shocked to
Right.
see. We knew they were all stars.
No, I mean somebody that you thought should. I mean, and you already said Curry that's in there that you don't think should have made it.
Right.
Not who you're shocked to see in, because we all said SGA and Halliburton 2 weeks ago when they were announced.
But maybe Bam, maybe Adebayo. I don't really. He's having a solid season. I don't think he's an all-star. I was surprised he made it. That could have been somebody else, in the Eastern Conference. But either way, he would have made it. Now that Embiid and Randall was out anyway, he would have took one of their spots as a big.
But, I mean, I agree with you though. With Curry, I think De'Aaron Fox should have been in over Curry.
And if I'm being honest, I don't think LeBron was playing. I get it. LeBron's gonna be the number one vote getter. Everybody wants. I'm not hating on that. He is what he is, who he is. But this year, maybe he wants to sit out, rest his body a little bit, let somebody else step up and take his spot.
Well, they got to get LeBron in there to say, oh, he has more All-Star games than anybody else, just so his little fans can talk about it.
He's the GOAT, the best of all time. Only him and Natalia got that title.
Right.
Well, I guess that's a perfect segue. We can move on. We got a few minutes left before we.
Hold on, real quick though. Before you get off of the NBA, real quick. Question: why is it the NBA and everybody can talk about Draymond Green and all his antics, right? But nobody says anything about what's that boy
Dillon
name?
Brooks?
Nope, not doing that.
Dillon Brooks.
Oh,
why does nobody say anything about Dillon Brooks and his antics?
What do you thought he was talking about?
Nope, I'm not even going to bring that dude's name up.
You think I was talking about Kyrie Irving?
We're going to talk about Dillon Brooks.
Oh,
why the hell are we talking about Kyrie? I don't understand it.
No, I just say I can't.
Because Dillon Brooks, he makes it look like it's an accident. He actually makes it look like he's not doing it on purpose. Even though we know who he is, we know what he's about, but he's not flailing his arms everywhere like Draymond Green does.
Bro, did you see the Laker game and the stuff from the Laker game?
He did.
And I'm only bringing that up because the stuff that he did in that game, and I'm not even.
I'm sorry.
I'm not even talking about LeBron. I'm not even talking about the LeBron play. I'm talking about when the cat that Vanderbilt, when he went through the lane and Dillon Brooks pushed him in the back.
Dillon Brooks is discussed. It's just Draymond has more of a history. I'm not saying that Dillon Brooks doesn't have a history. It's just Draymond has more of an egregious history. See, I can use big words too. He has more of an egregious history than Dillon Brooks. You know what I'm saying? Dillon Brooks has his issue. Dillon Brooks does his little slide. He's the dude that throws the rock, hides his hand type dude. You know what I'm saying? He do it and then act like he ain't do nothing. Raymond does it and he's like looking at you like, and what?
He wants everybody to know. That's what I did. Not Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks,
he throws the rock and then hides his hand.
He's the quietest flagrant foul you'll see.
He throws the rock and hides his hand, but the NBA still they'll come behind it, and the following day they'll review the game, and if they see a suspension or a fine needs to come down, they'll do it. But they're not doing anything to Dillon Brooks.
But if you remember when he was in Memphis, he was suspended for a good little chunk because of the dumb stuff he was doing.
Right. So why is he? Why does he not have a pattern of or a history like Draymond Green? And if he's been suspended and he's doing stuff
again, he's not doing it egregiously like Flex said.
Egregious.
He's not stomping on somebody's chest and then looking at him like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, he's not
clotheslining somebody and ready to fight. He's not clotheslining somebody and then ready to fight. He's not putting somebody in the rear naked chokehold saying that he's trying to get him off his teammate.
That
not
dude should have
doing
been an
that
all-star too. Rudy
He
Gobert.
was.
He's not doing that stuff.
Paulo
Draymond
Banchero got one.
Draymond is taking stuff to the extreme when he does it. You know what I mean? So it's almost like people are waiting. What is Draymond going to do next? You're not getting that because Dylan Brooks, like I said, he does it on the sly.
Since we're talking about Dylan Brooks, Draymond Green, and they're fighting, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk fight has been canceled due to Tyson Fury getting cut in training. So that fight has either been postponed or canceled. I don't know if Usyk going to take a backup fighter or not, but I think ever since the Francis Ngannou fight, Tyson Fury has seen life kind of differently. So we'll see how that goes.
Can we give Caitlin Clark some love? She moved into second place all time and
she's going to pass. She's going to pass Kelsey Plum.
She's gonna pass Kelsey Plum. I agree with you. She's about 120 points behind.
Yeah, like
so she should have that in about 3-4 games.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that until she actually broke the record.
Well, I'm going to show her some love. You know, I like Caitlin Clark.
I'm still thinking about how she flopped when the fans came storming the court. That was funny.
How she what?
How she flopped when the fans came. When she was running out and ran into the fan. And
it wasn't a flop.
And she had to be helped off.
She wasn't even looking like that. That was the thing. Like,
you didn't get hit that hard. The girl wasn't running that fast. She wasn't running hard.
I don't know how hard she was running. Were you out there?
You can look at the video. She was running slow.
That don't mean nothing. If I run up to you and you're not looking at me and I hit you a certain way, you're gonna hit the ground too. No matter how hard I run at you.
Yeah, but am I gonna spin all the way around like that? That's ridiculous.
Maybe.
We got
she the queen of the flops.
What's going on, Tito?
Tito.
Well,
I knew Tito was gonna be in here.
They go. Also, in more boxing news, Flex favorite fighter Jake Paul is fighting.
I don't like neither one of them, Pauls.
He's fighting, I believe, is March in the undercard. He is not the main event in Puerto Rico. He's going to be the co-main event, and he's fighting a guy that's 19-2, something along those lines.
I hope he gets knocked out.
And the main event of that fight is Puerto Rico's own Amanda Serrano. So that should be an intriguing fight for Puerto Rico. It's in Puerto Rico, so we'll see how that goes.
Tito, leave me alone.
PPR.
Either way,
Amir, what's going on with your Yankees, man?
What do you mean?
Didn't they just announce something today or yesterday?
Oh, they're going to Mexico to play a back-to-back exhibition game?
Yeah, that seems pretty dope, huh?
I think they're going to scout talent quietly and not tell the Dodgers. They're going to try to find the Mexican Ohtani.
I don't know if the Dodgers can afford to pay nobody else.
While we were on the AL East, Corbin Burns going to the Orioles. That was a major move.
No, that's a huge deal for the Baltimore Orioles. That's what they needed was a starter.
Cal Ripken Jr. being one of the owners of the Orioles. That's a big deal.
He's coming back home now. They have a bunch of celebrities that's owners of the Orioles, which is weird. I didn't really read all of it.
Yeah, there was somebody else that was like a huge. I'm trying to remember who it was.
Cal Ripken is the hugest deal
for Baltimore. Yes,
there was another.
That's what I'm talking about.
Game that was on. I'm trying to remember who it. I'm not gonna be able to remember who it was off the top of my head, but I saw Cal Ripken Jr. and then it was somebody else, and I was like, oh wow. They're
so it's going to be intriguing.
Dave Rubenstein.
No, that's the main guy. That's
the billionaire.
Yeah. Everybody else just got stakes in it or whatever.
Oh, Grant Hill.
Grant Hill.
That's what
there we go. That was intriguing to me. The Grant Hill.
Yeah, I saw Grant Hill and I was like.
That's equivalent to Alex Rodriguez being part owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I just want to throw that out there. I don't know many people know that.
Yeah. LeBron having stake in what's the soccer?
Manchester United.
Serena
and Venus has stake in the Miami Dolphins.
They Do they still? I know they did. Do they
Yeah, they
still?
still they do. I think the only celebrity who lost their stake in the team was Usher.
Or Jay-Z did too when he decided to open up a
Sports agency.
Yeah, sports because you can't do both. So
Right, but he had to sell. He sold his.
Yeah,
I
he
think
sold his
Usher.
stake, yeah.
They asked Usher to respectfully leave. 'Cause I think he was a part
I'm
owner
pretty
of the
sure he
Cavs
still
or something,
sold
wasn't he?
them, or he probably selling on them. Who knows?
Right.
Are you guys looking forward to Usher in the Super Bowl?
I like Usher. I'm an Usher fan. So.
Over under Lil Jon songs and Ludacris 2 to 3.
Well, they only have one song together.
Well, crap.
They got two. They got
3.
The three of them.
Yeah.
They got
Together?
Lovers and They
Lovers
definitely not
and
gonna do
Friends.
Lovers and Friends.
No, they're not gonna do. I'm
That's
just saying they
the
got
only
songs
song they got
together.
together.
They gonna do Yeah.
And then they did a remix together.
Usher, and no, I said all three of them.
Lil Jon will.
He said Lil Jon and Ludacris. I said all three of them only have one song together.
No, they're on Lovers and Friends. All 3 of them are Lovers and Friends.
That's the only one they're on together.
And they're on Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're on
yeah.
Yeah?
He is on it. Yeah. He is on it.
We've been saying yeah this whole time.
I heard him saying it, but I wasn't registering Ludacris. I heard him saying it, jackass.
Oh, my cup is empty.
Oh yeah.
Man, Royal Rumble. Let's really quick, couple minutes. Show the love there. We're not going to talk about WWE. What's going on backstage, right? We're not doing
No,
that.
we're not. I don't think we should touch that one.
Just like we're not touching.
I mean, we know it's going on. We everybody knows.
Whether we talk about it or not hasn't stopped him from touching anything.
No, I'm leaving that one alone. I'm leaving that one alone. If y'all want to discuss, y'all okay.
Uno, show him no mercy.
I'm leaving that one alone.
Pure chaos.
I know that's what Dan Campbell had. It was either draw 25, kick a field goal. He was still drawing 25.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about Dan Quinn to the Commanders. I know we've already talked about football. But
Well, if we had notes, we would have followed the notes.
Oh, why don't we have notes?
The statistician, I'll put him on.
Our statistician quit.
Don't do me. I told y'all I'm not going to be the only one putting notes in there.
Dan Quinn going to the Commanders, and the Dallas Cowboys are interviewing Ron Rivera to take his spot. So
you are really trying to bring the Cowboys into our show every week. And I get it. It's funny when they lose, but that's so 2 weeks ago. So we don't talk about them anymore.
Seahawks got a new coach. I'm not going to talk about that.
Which is confusing to me. You would think
Rob's not here, huh?
Which is confusing. You would think that Dan Quinn would have went to the Seahawks.
Yeah, I thought he had that one, but Rob wasn't happy about losing his DC.
Maybe the Commanders offered him more money.
Rob lost the game and his DC.
That's why he not. That's exactly why he not here. Y'all think he out there chefing somewhere? He just didn't want to face the public.
Talk about it.
He didn't want to face the public.
Him feelings hurt.
Either way, gentlemen, that's all I got.
He's still crying. Big Chef, stop crying, man. Come back to us. We're gonna be here next week. Again, listen to our show on Sunday morning, 10 Central Standard Time. Blake, you got something for us?
No, sir. I have nothing.
I ain't got nothing. All right. Well, like we always say,
that's not my thing. That's Rob. He called out sick at the last minute. We didn't have time to put that all together.
He ain't even give you the stuff. That's terrible. Well, like we always say before we get out of here, some people like football, baseball, and basketball, while others like hockey, soccer, and NASCAR. But here, all sports matter. And we out.
Peace out.